Both Mr. Jonathan Allenes and Miss Mariah Allenes are present with the Ad Litem. It's state's understanding we have an agreement for a further temporary order. As far as the state's position, Your Honor, we do have a temporary order which just set out both parents as joint managing conservators of the child and kept her in father's residence based on the circumstances. In this further temporary order, the state's position would be we include the part where Mr. Allenes covers the child's health and dental through his employer and not address the issue of child support unless the court deems it necessary at this juncture. It's the state's understanding Ms. Garcia's recommendation would be that the standard possession order is appropriate so that while the child remains with the father until further order, the mother would get the standard possession order, electronic communication, and that the parties would communicate via AppClose to ensure that everyone is on the same page and that the child is appropriately treated as a child rather than an adult in this matter, and that the Coryell County standing order also be included so that the parties remember what is required of them as parents. And I believe that's it for the state at this time, Your Honor.
Well, I was thinking about that standing order in that last case, but I'll say that for the next time. Anyway, the Bell County one anyway. All right, then Ms. Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Bongat is accurate in what we've talked about, my recommendation, and that I think the parents have indicated that they're in agreement with that for a further temp. Reason for that is there's been some things that have come up. Recently, CPS has contacted the parents and is wanting to investigate further. I haven't had a chance to talk to that person, and I know that this was very recent. And I think Dad just recently had a home visit with her, the CPS investigator. And also, it's my understanding that the Coryell County Juvenile Probation has attempted to do an intake as well. That communication needs to happen, and I would like to see what happens there. Also, Dad is still in process of setting up some visits with doctors and such for the child to get treatment for some mental health issues and other things. And I want to see how that plays out. I'd also like to see how mom and daughter were able to get along and how their relationship is going to work out. So I was asking for further temp. I would like for the parents to be ordered to communicate via AppClose. I think there's been some issues with communication between them. And also one more thing, as Ms. Bongat said, standard possession order for mom and electronic communication. But there was also a list of items that the child is requesting from mom's home. I had asked her to make me a list. I have passed that on to mom, and I would just like for mom to work on getting the child those items so she can be comfortable in her transition for now, at least, into Dad's home. And that's all.
All right, then, Judge lost his train of thought that fast. And I'm sorry, for the summer, are we looking at the 30 days or are we looking at something different?
I'm fine with the standard possession order. I don't know if the father, we didn't specifically talk about that block. I don't know if the child is ready for that. I don't know if the father has an objection to that. I think maybe, Judge, maybe for this summer, I think we should stick with the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and not that block visitation, because the child just recently went back to Dad, and I know that she was hesitant to go back to mom. So I think maybe for the child's comfort, we would just do 1st, 3rd, and 5th and not do that block.
All right, then. And this is, of course, this is the first weekend coming up, so that'll be fine. All right, got it. All right. All right, okay, at this time, I'll ask both parties to turn their videos and raise their right hands, and let's get some testimony.
Ma'am, what is your full name?
Mariah Allenes.
And who is the child in this case?
Amora Allenes.
And ma'am, were you able to hear the opening statement that I gave to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also able to hear Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Were we accurate in describing what agreements we've come to for this further temporary order?
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you are entering this agreement of your own accord and believe that if the court grants or approves it, it's in your daughter's best interest?
For now, yes, ma'am.
And as far as the electronic communication, ma'am, for you and your daughter, you understand that this court will typically say Wednesdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. Central, for at least 30 minutes. Parent not in possession would initiate, while the parent in possession, ensures the child is available for the said communication.
Yes.
And then, ma'am, as far as communications between you and Mr. Allenes, you understand that the AppClose, once ordered, would be the main way for you all to communicate. While you could agree to other things, they would be in addition to rather than in lieu of.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, ma'am, the Coryell County Standing Order is something that the county has in place in cases where it's a divorce or affecting children. And it would set out what things you and Mr. Allenes need to keep in mind as this case continues to be in court. Any problem with that being included?
No.
And then, ma'am, you were in agreement with the father maintaining health and dental for your daughter through his employment.
Sorry.
Was there anything else, ma'am, you wanted the court to consider for these temporary orders based on my questions?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, sorry, there she is, Ms. Garcia, your witness, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, and you understand that AppClose is a tool for communication and for sharing of information such as medical appointments or any other sort of communication regarding the child, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Previously or leading up to today, have you had issues with communication with the father regarding the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you understand and you agree that it would be a good tool for you guys and it would be in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
All right, anything else on redirect, Ms. Bongat?
No, Your Honor.
All right, next witness, please.
The state calls Mr. Allenes. Sir, what is your full name?
Jonathan Jacob Allenes.
And sir, you're the father of Amora.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also able to hear Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
And sir, was there anything that we relayed to the court that you disagreed with in terms of the proposed further temporary order?
No, ma'am.
And so, sir, if granted by the court, you believe it's in the best interest of your daughter?
Yes, I do.
And you have no problem maintaining your daughter's health and dental coverage through your employer as you have been?
Yes, ma'am, I will continue.
And then, sir, as far as the electronic communication between your daughter and Ms. Allenes, do you foresee any problems with those proposed dates or your ability to ensure that they happen?
No, ma'am, I do not.
And then, sir, with regard to AppClose, do you think there'll be any problem with the two of you utilizing that and it only being the two of you using the app to communicate regarding Amora?
I do not foresee any problems.
Okay. Anything else, or you wanted the court to consider based on my questions?
No, ma'am, we did have a CPS officer come to our house within the last 24 hours, and she was eager to get in touch with the Ad Litem and volunteered to be a witness in court if needed, but she has not gotten in contact with the courts yet.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, Ms. Garcia, your witness.
All right, sir, and basically along the lines of what I asked the mother earlier, you understand that that AppClose would be used to communicate regarding the child, including anything, having to do with any appointments or updates or health issues or visitation. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all I have, Your Honor. You pass witness.
All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and prove the agreement at this time. I'm gonna go ahead and grant the further temporary order setting up the visitation, maintain the health insurance ordering AppClose and doing electronic visits, and all those items. I'm going to go ahead and start those immediately. As far as part of this order, I'll again order the parties to maintain or to adhere to the family law standing order out of Coryell County, Texas. I'll have the state make sure that a copy of that is attached and that you both should go over it, because there's circumstances in that make it all party court order. And technically, any person that violates that can a motion for enforcement can be brought against them for violating that standing order. So at this time, I'll start with you, sir. Is there any other questions you have or anything else you think I need to know?
Sir, I know it's going to be in writing. Can you explain to me the timing of the first, third, and fifth visitation?
The first, third, fifth visitation under this order will be the first, third, and fifth Fridays of the month, starting at 6 p.m. on Friday, going to 6 p.m. on Sunday. Okay. In other words, it's coming Friday. There's not a fifth Friday this month. So that'll be the one coming up and the one 2 weeks from this coming Friday. All right.
So that would not be this Friday. That would be 2 Fridays from now.
Now the current one is for this Friday. Yes, sir. And then there's another one 2 weeks from the Friday. That'd be the third Friday. The first Friday of the month is coming up this week, and that's going to be July the 5th. And the one after that is obviously the 19th.
Okay. And what are the conditions for the transportation of the child during visits?
The norm is mom, the non-custodial party picks up and drops off at the residence. There was no request for me to make that somewhere else or a neutral site. So that did not come up. So is that a problem, sir?
No, sir.
All right. Any other questions, sir?
So then that means at this time, the mother would be transporting the child.
Yeah, her designated agent. She can use a designated agent so long as that person is over the age of 18 and has a driver's license. At this time, I'm gonna tell her at this time I would not want anybody under the age of 21 doing that. So I want an adult. I want somebody that's actually 18 is an adult, but it's not. So anyway, so again, she's allowed to use a designated agent, and I'll make that anyone over the age of 21 and has a valid Texas driver's license. Any other questions, sir? Okay. All right, man. I'm sorry, sir. Anything else?
No, that will be all, sir. Thank you.
All right. So, Allenes, any questions, ma'am?
Did you ask me if I had any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
No, sir, I do not.
All right. Anything else of either witness, Ms. Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
May the witnesses be excused, Ms. Bongat?
Your Honor, subject to the court, well, either giving us a reset date a few months out or having us just get that ourselves by agreement. That would be the only thing for the parties to stay for.
Okay, then how far out are you anticipating the meeting, Ms. Garcia?
Sorry, Judge, it cut out.
I'm sorry, how far out are you anticipating needing to finish your investigation and make proper recommendations?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to see maybe 2 or 3 months out, just because CPS is involved and juvenile probation is trying to get involved in the child. I'd like to see her. I know Dad's trying to get her on into receive doctors and appointments, and there was a wait list. So I'd like to see if she's going to get into that and if she makes any progress. So I'd like to have about 3 months if I could.
All right, and so 3 months out, we're looking at wow, so that's August, September. So we're looking at late September, early October. So, all right, tell you what, let's do a pre-trial on this in late August. That way I can get some idea where we're probably looking at. I want to set it on the general docket. Because right now I'm still got to say I'm going to do advanced family online. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to do September or the October one, so that's going to come into play. So, Ms. Garcia, are you already here on any of our regular court dates that last part of August that you know of?
Let me see. The last part of August, I believe August 27th. I have Yeah, August 27th, I have 2 hearings in your court,
Okay.
Judge.
All right, let's set that on August the 27th for a pretrial. And I'll allow you to show up and say, hey, Judge, I don't think either party needs to be here. We're gonna probably need a lot more time. Or you can have them both there if you think it's necessary. But this time, let's go ahead and set it for a pretrial on the 27th, where we can get an update on how everything is going and whether or not we're gonna have CPS concerns, we're gonna have medical concerns, we're gonna have therapeutic concerns, you know, so whatever's necessary, we'll take care of it. But I need to get some idea of how long that final hearing might need to be, okay?
Yes, Judge.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and reset this for what's called a pretrial. That way I can get an update on what's been going on. And on August the 28th, and that's on the August 27th on the general docket at 9 a.m. And like I say, Miss Garcia can to wave y'all off and say y'all don't have to attend. But unless she says that, y'all both need to make plans to be here at 9 a.m. on that date. So, is there anything else, Miss Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Miss? I know I'm mispronouncing your last name. Is there anything else, Miss Allenes?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, ma'am. Anything else?
No, sir. So would she be registering for school with him in August? Because I keep getting the email about registration and I need to know.
Right now,
What we
Dad's
need
the one that has the authority to register, so ma'am, so it's got to be him, okay?
All right, just thank you.
All right. All right. Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right. I mean, the parties be excused now, Ms. Bongat.
Yes, Your Honor.
Y'all both free to go, and we'll see you in August. Thank you. We're off the record.
Thank you, sir.